Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for staying back to this segment. So in this segment, I'll bring you through a live product demonstration to unlock the power of WebOrion. But first of all, let me have a quick introduction of myself. So my name is Leigh Winata. I'm the head of Tech DevOps with CloudSign. My role here is I will assist in your requirements for pre-sales solution for your your WebOrion requirements, and then I will do the system deployment for the project. So before we go to the live product demonstration, allow me to run through with you a high-level network architecture of WebOrion monitor, and what I'm going to show you is for the SaaS version. So this is your web server. Your web server can be hosted on your own data center, on your premise, or even in the public cloud. And this is WebOrion Monitor. We are hosting our solutions on AWS in Singapore. So the way we perform Monitor is we will go through the public internet to poll your website every 5, 15, or 60 minutes, and we'll analyze the HTTP response that's being returned by your web server. When we detect any change, any defacement by the system, what will happen is we will send an alert via email to the configured recipient or to the SOC partner as part of our managed service offerings. Now, for this solution, there is no extra hardware or software agent needed to be installed on your environment because this is an entirely out-of-band solution. So this is a high-level network view of how WebOrion monitor architecture. Now, in this architecture, this is how WebOrion Restorer can be implemented. So this is our second product. So again, this is your environment. It can be hosted on-premise or on public cloud. And this is the user that is expected to visit your website or your web application. When everything is normal, so the user will visit through public internet to browse your web page and everything. This is the normal traffic. When we onboard WebOrion Restorer, what will happen is we will provision a dedicated instance to create a secure replica of your website, and the secure replica would be created over public internet. When something happens to your website, the idea is we want to bring all the subsequent user away from the defaced website to a clean replica. And that is where WebOrion Restorer, the function comes in. So we want to restore this traffic. So for our solutions, the way we normally implement it is we will have a one-click or automated failover mechanism in order to redirect the traffic to the replica. And once this happens, the subsequent user will no longer see the defaced website, but it will see a clean version of the previous version of the website before it got defaced. Oops. So with this in mind, allow me to share with you our monitor and restore system. So I'm proud to share with you our newly refurbished, our newly refreshed UI. This is a totally different look from what we have in our previous version. So this is the main dashboard where you can see the summary of configuration of what you have. You can see the number of alerts per day and the number of alerts per month. And it also allows you a quick glimpse of the last 10 incidents that has been detected by the system for your configuration, and the last 10 baseline URLs that you have done for your configurations as well, and some other information. So before we go through this dashboard, what I want to show you as well is we have prepared a demo website that we will monitor, and then we will perform a defacement and see how the monitor can detect this incident. So on your screen, you'll be able to see Smart Town Dev Corp. So this is a website that we create to mimic the feel and appearance of a typical modern website. It has an introductory video of the company that actually has a link to YouTube, the works that the company has done before, the pricing plans or the products offered by the company, testimonials from the customers, Twitter feeds, blogs, and even contact us from. So this is where a visitor can interact with the company. So allow me to just put my information there. It's CloudSign.tech. So hello there. I am interested in WebOrion, something like that. So send message. So you can see that when you send a message, feedback is received by us. There's a pop-up window here. So okay, so everything is fine. So this is the website production environment. And we will monitor this website. How can we do that? What we need is just the URL of the website. Let me copy this. Now let me come back to the dashboard here. So these are where the list of options you can see in order to navigate within the portal. In order to add a new web page, just add, under this web page heading, add web page, we'll just be adding a single web page. So let me just paste the URL here. I'll be monitoring this under Gold license. So for Gold license, what it means is we'll monitor your website at 5 minutes interval. So once we have that, we are ready to proceed with our configuration, and let me save that. So what you see on the screen here is the system is performing baseline, and it's performing baseline 1 of 3. What will happen is behind the scene, the monitor will visit this website, will visit our website, and then it will load the resources that it will monitor under the various engines that we have. And what will happen here as well is the system is smart enough to identify what the static components are in your web page and what the dynamic elements are in order to automatically exclude the dynamic one, because we do not want that to trigger false positives in our subsequent check. Okay, so we see this is the result that's returned by the system. Baseline of your web page is completed successfully. Please check the baseline settings as follow. So we see this is the URL, and let me just put this as demo page here. The plan type is Go. This the user agent polling interval is 5 minutes, so it looks good. Let me just save that. Success, updated web page configuration. So you can see I have a bunch of web page, but this is the one that we have just recently added. Demo page, salesdemo3s1dc.com. Last verified is just now 11:40. So status is awaiting verification. So what will happen is I will go to the configuration. And let me run you through what we can see from this page. So general settings, so it's the basic information. Gold is under Gold license, user agents here. Now you see that there's content and integrity analytics, image analytics, JavaScript malware detection tabs. So this is where you can navigate through the various engines. So we see that these are the readings that's obtained by content and integrity analytics engine when we perform the baseline. So when remember we did the 3 iterations of baseline previously. So at that step, the monitor actually reads that for this particular web page, this is the readings of HTML title that is detected. Smart Town Dev Corp for the HTML title. There are 44 href links that are present in the web page, 12 images, 23 JavaScripts, and so on and so forth for the other elements. And see that the last verified value here is empty, because what we want to do is we want to verify the web page one more time before we ensure that these are the final configurations to be used for this particular web page. So let me press that. Now what's happening is I am manually triggering the monitor to go to the page and to read this page configuration one more time. So this is the summary of the reading. The verified web page matches with the baseline. Let me close that. And let me just refresh the page one more time. So as you can see, we do see the same readings for last verified value and baseline value here. And if we, okay, this is still under content and integrity analytics tab. So there's a detailed column here. So if I expand this, these are actually the readings that are read by the integrity engine. So that means that we are not just monitoring the number of href links in this page, we are also monitoring what the exact href links are that are present in this page. So there are 44 here, and this tells us that there are several segments. There are href links to single post.html in this page. Let me go to images, so we can see that there are 12 images here. There are image 1, .jpeg up to image6.jpg, customer.png to customer3.png. So there you go. So these will be the resources that will be tracked together when we do the subsequent poll of the web page. Let me move on to image analytics. So for image analytics, the way this engine works is a little bit different from content and integrity analytics. Now for image analytics, what will happen is, let me enable that. We will load this page, we will render it into an image, and afterwards we will do pixel comparison in order to perform our monitoring. So let me just add our edit regions to be redirected to another page. Please save your configuration before proceeding. Yes, let's do that. So this is the segment that we read from the page. Now, what we need to do is we can select this area. Let's say this is the area of interest for us. Double click on it. Do you wish to monitor this region? Let me click yes. So that's being selected. So the selected region of monitoring via this image analytics engine will be highlighted in red. And let's say that I am also interested in this particular image in this page. So let me select that. You should monitor this region as well. Yes. So success, updated image regions. In the interest of time, let me just set these two configurations. Let me complete that. And we can see that these are the two regions that we selected in our configuration. Let me check that. Image threshold, say that I'm interested in 100% pixel state. Let me save that. And updated web page. So there you go. Oops, let me go back one more time to show you what is going on with the JavaScript malware engine configuration. And this is the last tab. So this would be released to you starting from today. So in order to enable this engine, you just need to select this, enable JavaScript malware detection. And once this is selected, you can save this, and whatever JavaScripts that are present in your web page will be run through our newly added engine, and it will be run through for JavaScript malware detection. So just one final check before we do our defacement. This is our demo page. It's under Go plan. Polling interval is 5 minutes. Last verified is at 11:42. Status is okay, and we are good to go. So one final look at the web page before we do our defacement. And what I have prepared here is a control panel that allows me shortcuts to perform the various cases of defacement. Let me do a first defacement case, which will be a full page defacement. Click on that. Okay. So what we should expect is a totally different state of web page from our corporate site. And oh dear, this is an example of a defacement. It looks very similar to what has happened to the website of the presidential website campaign by Mr. Trump. So now that this has happened to your website, what can you do? Not to worry, since you're on WebOrion defacement monitor, what will happen is the system will go to the web page to check in the next 5 minutes. That will be at 11:47. But in order not to wait for a little bit of delay, let me just come in here and press verify page in order to do a manual trigger. So same thing, the monitor will go to the web page to check and to analyze for the response from the web page. So we see that this timestamp, the status was okay. Now it is warning there are changes found in the web page. Please see detailed results below. So if you recall, we had 44 href links in the web page. Now we have 0. There were 12 images. There's only 1 now. And the same goes for other resources as well. And this is the difference between the baseline and the last verified value of the various elements. So we can see that it's quite drastic because it is a full page defacement. That was the reading from Content Analytics Engine. Let's go to Image and Integrity Analytics Engine. We can see that for href link changes, practically all the href links are different or no longer available. Let's go for image changes as well. image123.56.jpg. These are different from the baseline. Same for customer 123, image 123 as well. So one neat thing that we have integrated here as well is we categorize the type of elements based on, we categorize the type of details based on the various elements under image analytics integrity engine. So we can see href links, images, JavaScripts, and CSS as well. Let's move on to image analytics engine now. So you recall we had two regions, region 1 and 2. Changes detected is 100%, 96.45% based on our threshold. So basically it means that these two regions flag alerts out based on image analytics as well. However, for JavaScript malware detection, there's no record here because we did not detect any malicious JavaScript in the web page. Let me close this as the status is warning. Let me do one more verification to confirm that indeed the changes are there when we do the subsequent check. So there we go. So this is the web page timestamp URL status is critical. There are changes found in the web page. Please see detailed results below. So it will be the same as what we saw previously. And there you go. So once this happens, what will happen at the back end is an email alert will be sent to my email address, and I will see the exact details of what we just saw earlier. And when you need to do more detailed readings afterwards, you can come to this heading incident list. Let me click on that. So this is the latest entry, demo page, sales demo tree astondc.com. That's the time it was detected. That's the incident ID. Let's look in detail. So this is the changes as detected by the various engines. I won't go through this one more time, so I just want you to have a look at it. And the neat thing here is we do have a screenshot included in this alert as well. So you can see at a glance that even though the readings by the engine can be detailed, it can be mostly in textual form, but this allows you a visual identification of what has happened to the page, the latest state of the page when the incident happened. So this really speeds up the time when you need to identify what has happened to the page. So the next question is what next? If you need to maintain online presence, you cannot afford to bring down your entire site. So that's where WebOrion Restorer comes in. We have created a WebOrion Restorer for our corporate site, and in order to activate that, we do have this traffic configuration menu here. Let me click on that. This would be where you can activate the command to redirect traffic from the subsequent users to the to a clean replica. Now, this is the domain that we have, salesdemo3astondc.restorer.bencyber.net on behalf of salesdemo3.astondc.com. The traffic is to original server now. It's last activated at this time by this email ID. And we have this button fill over to replica here. Let me click on that. Now, once I confirm that I want to activate this command, this would switch the DNS record for the following CNAME, salesdemo3-origin.astondc.com to our WebOrion Restorer. So in this method, let me click on that, on yes. So in this method, the integration way that we have opted for is to change the DNS record of our hosting web domain to a CNAME, and since we are controlling that, we can now trigger a change in origin command to redirect the traffic to the replica. Let me come back here and let me refresh the page. And just by clicking that button, you can see that actually I am now being redirected to almost exactly looking web page as our production site. So it has our services, introductory video works. I'll just quickly scroll to the end for you to have a feel of the website. Blogs is there as well. Contact us from. So let me try to contact the company as well. Let me check what's happening here. Oops. Hello. buy more WebOrion. Please send message. Now, as I click on this, if you recall, there was a pop-up window saying that feedback received, but in this case, the pop-up window did not appear. Now, why is it so? It's because we purposely customize to disconnect the link between our website to our database, because now that we know we are under defacement, we want to protect our important database, and therefore we just want to maintain online presence. So we do have the form here, but in the meantime, it's not functional. So there you go. So this is how WebOrion Restore can work. Of course, we can always customize the link back to your database in the event that you choose to opt for that. So that's totally customizable because we are the product vendor for this WebOrion Restore. So that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. I hope it gives you a clearer understanding of how WebOrion Monitor and Restorer can be a good countermeasure solution against web defacement attack. And let me come back to my slide. So the next part is quiz time. So this is where you can win a Grab voucher as well. So the first question is, which of these WebOrion Monitor engines checks the integrity of the web resources? Content Analytics Engine, Advanced Integrity Engine, and Image Analytics Engine. So you can choose 1, 2, 3 for your option. Okay, let's see. The correct answer is Advanced Integrity Engine. So congratulations, Sudin Naka, for getting the correct answer and being the first one to do so. So just a recap, Content Analytics Engine, the way it works is it counts the number of resources and it checks whether someone has added or removed any resources in your web page. Whereas Advanced Integrity Engine checks for the integrity of the files itself. That includes the images, JavaScripts, and CSS. And Image Analytics Engine does monitoring at service level, where you select the region of interest. Now let's move on to the second quiz. Deploying WebOrion Solution Suite requires complex installation of agents in my web servers. Is this true or false? So it's just true or false. So now that I see from the chat, we have both true and false options. So the answer is false, because deploying WebOrion Solution Suite does not require complex installation of agents in your web server. So just to recap, we are totally out of bounds solutions. So we are mimicking the role of a public visitor to your site, and therefore we do not need to install anything on your environment in order to do this monitoring. So congratulations, Sean, on getting the answer correct. We'll be in touch for the gift. And be ready for the last quiz. In the demo, what is the method of redirecting the traffic from the defaced website to WebOrion Restorer? Is it A, manually change the area record at hosting name server? B, click the activation command to automatically change the origin of DNS record via WebOrion Monitor portal? And C, instruct network engineer to change the patch panel connections at the hosting data center? Wow, that's worthy. So we see, okay, and the correct answer is B, yes. Thank you for participating. Do receive several correct answers. So the first one to answer it correctly is by Chan Moon Fai. Congratulations, we'll be in touch to give you the gift. And that brings me to the end of my session.